Welcome back to the Deep Dive. This is the show where we take all that complicated research, all the noise, and we boil it down to the simple facts you actually need. And today, we are diving deep into a big one, omega-3 fatty acids.
A topic that comes up all the time.
It really does. And, if you're serious about your health long-term, you hear that omega-3 is, well, it's non-negotiable.
Right.
But let's be honest for a second. Trying to get enough of it, it just feels so overwhelming.
It does.
You're told eat more fish, but that's expensive. It's not always practical.
Yeah.
Or you're just standing in an aisle staring at these huge bottles of fish oil trying to figure out what milligrams and all this jargon even means.
And that feeling, that sense of being overwhelmed, that is exactly what we want to eliminate in this deep dive. We've gone through the sources you shared with us, and our mission for you, the listener, is really surgical.
Okay.
We want to cut through the noise and just establish two things. First, what is the exact amount of omega-3 an adult really needs every day?
The actual number.
The actual number. And second, what is the most cost-effective, the simplest, and the most efficient way to hit that target? Every single day.
We're basically looking for a nutritional life hack, right?
Exactly.
We want to get past this vague idea of, oh, more fish is probably better, and get to a really precise, achievable daily routine. One that, frankly, respects your wallet and your time.
And to really appreciate the solution when we get there, I think we have to start with the why.
The foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we even look at a single food source, let's just frame why this nutrient is so fundamentally important.
Okay, so lay that foundation for us. Why is this specific fat so critical?
Well, the sources, they make it really clear that omega-3 it's a structural requirement for the body. It's not just some kind of performance enhancer.
That's so nice to have.
Not at all.
Oh.
Specifically, it's crucial for keeping your brain cells and your nerve cells healthy, maintaining their integrity.
So it's about the actual wiring of the body.
It literally helps build and maintain the communication infrastructure in your body.
Yeah. Wow. So if we're deficient, that whole communication system just starts getting fuzzy.
In essence, yeah. It supports optimal neural function.
Yeah.
But its job doesn't just end, above the neck. It's also absolutely essential for good cardiovascular health.
The classic heart-healthy benefit. I think that's what most people know it for.
Absolutely. And the data we looked at specifically shows that a consistent intake of omega-3 helps increase what we all call good cholesterol.
Okay.
So it's a nutrient that delivers these systemic benefits. It's helping the most vital systems, your nervous system and your circulatory system.
And our bodies can't make it on their own.
Not efficiently, no.
Yeah.
Which means consuming it daily is pretty much mandatory.
All right. If it's mandatory, we need a metric. We need a number. So let's unpack that. Let's establish the benchmark for the rest of this conversation. What is the precise non-negotiable target we are all aiming for every single day?
The official daily requirement for adults, and this is pulled from, various research bodies we analyzed, it's definitive, 1.6 grams of omega-3 fat.
1.6 grams.
That is our floor. That is the number you need to keep locked in your head as we start comparing the food sources.
Okay, 1.6 grams. Or 1,600 milligrams. That's our goal.
That's it.
And traditionally, when people hear that number, their brain immediately goes to one place.
Fish.
Fish.
And that is where the cost and the complexity, they just immediately become prohibitive for so many people.
It's just so ingrained in our culture, isn't it? Omega-3 equals fish.
It is.
But when we actually look at the reality of hitting that 1.6 gram target just with seafood, the challenge is, well, it's staggering.
It is genuinely shocking when you run the numbers. The source material explains that the actual omega-3 content in a standard serving of, say, cooked fish is relatively modest.
Okay, so what are we talking about?
We're talking somewhere in the range of maybe 200 milligrams to, on a good day, maybe 300 milligrams per typical portion.
Whoa. So 300 milligrams?
Yeah.
That's less than a fifth of our 1,600 milligram daily goal.
Exactly.
So you need multiple portions just to even get close.
Precisely. To bridge that gap and actually achieve the necessary 1.6 grams, an adult would need to eat roughly half a kilogram. That's 0.5 kilograms.
Half a kilo.
All the way up to 3/4 of a kilogram. 0.75 kilograms.
Of fish.
Of fish. Daily.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let's just sit with that number for a second. 3/4 of a kilogram of cooked fish.
Every day.
Every single day. That is an enormous amount of protein to eat daily. And I can't even imagine the cost.
The sheer volume is impractical for almost everyone. It sounds less like a health plan and more like a competitive eating regimen.
Right.
And the sources immediately start to highlight the major practical problems with trying to rely on this method.
Well, I can think of two right off the bat. Cost and, well, just getting it.
Availability.
Absolutely. The first one is cost. Purchasing half a kilo to 3/4 of a kilo of good, high-quality fish every day. It becomes completely unsustainable very, very quickly.
It's not just expensive, it's financially impossible for many people to keep that habit up, for sure. And what about the reliability of it all? We're talking about cooked fish here.
That's the second crucial issue the data points out, isn't it? The uncertainty.
Yes, there is a fundamental unknown. How much of that omega-3 fat actually remains in the fish after you've cooked it?
Oh, I hadn't even thought of that.
These are fats. They can leach out. They can degrade under high heat. So while the raw fish might contain a certain amount,
The amount you actually consume is a total question mark.
it's an uncertain variable. You could be eating that entire 0.75 kilograms and you could still be falling short of your 1.6 gram goal.
So the traditional wisdom eat a lot of fish is, when you look at the math and the money, it's just a disaster for consistent daily intake.
It is.
It's expensive, it's impractical, and it's unreliable for guaranteeing that crucial 1.6 grams.
It sets an extremely high, almost absurd bar to clear.
Yeah.
And that really high bar is exactly why the efficiency of the vegetarian sources we analyzed is so dramatically appealing. We can pivot instantly from massive volume and massive cost to incredible density and simplicity.
And this is where it gets really interesting. This is where that aha solution starts to appear. The research immediately pointed us towards walnuts.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about a powerhouse vegetarian source that requires zero cooking, zero complex preparation.
Walnuts are basically omega-3 superheroes. The numbers are just astonishing. The sources detail the concentration for us perfectly. So each individual walnut roughly weighs about 5 grams.
Okay.
But more importantly, 100 grams of walnuts contain a whopping 11 grams of omega fat.
11 grams.
Wow.
That concentration is the key. It's
Right.
why they are so incredibly efficient.
Okay, so let's apply that density to our target.
Right.
Our goal is 1.6 grams a day. I just need the simple number. How many walnuts?
To meet the 1.6 gram daily requirement, you need to eat only 4 walnuts.
4.
4.
That's it. Just 4 individual walnuts.
That's it?
I mean, that sounds way too easy, especially after we just spent time talking about needing 3/4 of a kilo of fish. That is the power of this source material. It just lays it out. If you eat 4 walnuts, which is only about 20 grams total weight, you easily surpass the requirement. You're getting roughly 1.7 grams of omega fat.
So you hit the target with 4 nuts that cost, what, pennies?
Right.
And require no cooking and take, I don't know, seconds to eat?
Seconds.
That simplicity, that's the real takeaway here. The comparison is just everything. 3/4 of a kilogram of cooked fish versus 4 small nuts.
It completely reframes how we should think about a good omega-3 source.
It totally redefines value and efficiency.
It absolutely does. But we can push that budget angle even further.
Oh, really?
Yeah. While walnuts are simple and they're efficient, our next 2 sources are what the research actually calls the cheap and best way to get your omega-3. They're suitable for pretty much any budget.
Excellent. Okay, let's dive into the seeds then. We're starting with flax seeds.
Yes. We start with flax seeds, or as they're known in some places, Avais gingeloo. The quantity you need to hit our target is just incredibly manageable. Just 2 tablespoons.
2 tablespoons.
That's it. 2 tablespoons measured out comes to about 14 or 15 grams of seeds.
And that tiny serving size gives us what in terms of omega-3?
It provides 1.7 grams of omega fat.
So again, comfortably over our 1.6 gram requirement.
Comfortably over. And the financial insight here is key. 2 tablespoons of flax seeds are incredibly cheap. The cost it's negligible compared to that daily fish budget we were just talking about.
That's fantastic. But
Yeah.
this is where people often get stuck. I have. You buy the seeds, but then you're stuck on how to use them every day without it feeling like a chore.
Right.
Did the data give us simple ways to prepare them?
It offers 3 very actionable, very versatile methods. So first, you can lightly roast the seeds and just eat them whole.
Okay.
You could even mix them with a little jaggery to make a small sweet ball, which is a common traditional method.
Like a little energy bite.
Exactly. Second, you can just eat them plain or raw. Some people find the texture a bit challenging that way, but it's an option.
And what's the third option?
The most adaptable option, and maybe the best for consistency, is to grind them into a spiced powder.
A powder.
And then you incorporate that into your regular meals. You can mix it right in with rice, with curries, or even just stir it into some yogurt.
Wait, okay, that brings up an important question. I know a lot of our listeners will be thinking this.
Okay.
Flax seeds are sensitive, right? If we grind them, doesn't that expose those fats to the air? And doesn't that risk them oxidizing really fast? Does the data touch on that?
That's an excellent point and a really important one. The research does suggest that while, grinding a huge batch for long-term storage is risky,
Right.
preparing a small quantity of that spiced powder where you're mixing in dry spices that actually help stabilize it.
Oh, the spices help.
They do. And then consuming it quickly, that maintains the efficacy. The convenience of mixing that powder into your meals really outweighs the minimal risk of degradation over that short period.
So the key is to make small batches.
Exactly. You're just making enough for a few days at most. So that powder method becomes highly actionable.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, now for our third superstore option, chia seeds.
Chia seeds, or sabja ginjalu, they are pretty much the mirror image of flax seeds when it comes to sheer efficiency.
So same amount.
You also only need 2 tablespoons to meet that daily 1.6 gram requirement.
And how do we eat those without any fuss? Because they have a very different texture than flax.
The beauty of chia seeds is that gelling property when you soak them. So the standard, simple method is just to soak them, similar to how you'd prepare basil seeds.
Okay.
And the sources really emphasize making this easy by pairing it with habits you already have.
Such as?
You could easily mix them into some fruit you're having for dinner, just as a simple topping.
Oh, that's easy.
Or mix the soaked seeds right into your morning sprouts or breakfast cereal. They need no heat, no complex recipe. The focus is always on minimal effort for maximum return.
Okay, so to synthesize this entire deep dive for you, the listener, we started with the near impossibility of eating, 0.75 kilograms of fish every day.
Right.
Which is expensive, unreliable, and just a huge volume of food.
And we ended up with 3 distinct, super simple vegetarian options.
Exactly. Each of these 3 methods, the walnuts, the flax, the chia, they're all cost-effective. They're so easy to measure.
4 nuts or 2 tablespoons.
So simple and easy to prepare, and they all deliver at least 1.7 grams of omega-3.
They're all equally powerful.
Which brings us right to the key takeaway. You have a choice of extreme simplicity. If you are looking for the quickest, most direct shortcut to guarantee your daily omega-3 intake, the sources delivered simple, clear answers.
They really did.
You only need to practice any one of these 3 methods daily to manage your intake successfully. You just have to choose your path. 4 walnuts, 2 tablespoons of flax seeds, or 2 tablespoons of chia seeds.
Any single one.
Any single one of those choices, if you practice it consistently, easily surpasses that 1.6 gram target.
Yeah.
And it does it without breaking the bank or requiring a ton of meal prep.
And by committing to such a simple habit, you're making a massive direct investment in your long-term health.
That's incredible.
You're feeding the structural needs of your brain, you're supporting the optimal function in your nerve cells, and you're reinforcing your entire cardiovascular system.
That is an incredible return on such a tiny nutritional investment.
It truly is.
So what does this all mean for you? Our sources, they fundamentally shifted the narrative on a crucial nutrient. We went from thinking omega-3 meant high cost, complexity, and huge volume to finding this extreme efficiency just hiding in common pantry staples.
Right there on the shelf.
So considering how difficult it is to get that 1.6 grams from those traditional high-volume sources, how might this massive efficiency gap change how we prioritize and value nutritional knowledge?
It's a great question.
What other common low-cost nutrients might have equally simple hidden sources that we just overlook because they aren't packaged up as expensive supplements?
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other nutritional giants are hiding in plain sight right in your own kitchen?
Indeed. We'll leave you to chew on that thought. Until the next deep dive, stay curious.